Look, I had a lot of mixed feelings about this installment of WWE Raw, as it was happening. Things came full circle in a fun way though, and the storytelling was a strong continuation from last week. We're cutting deep. And I mean deep, folks. It's all set up for the return of Saturday night's main event, and it felt like it. We're going to see some titles change hands this weekend. So let's start with something we don't often see, 3 different explanations from people who all intertwine. We started with CM Punk in a pre-recorded backstage interview putting the favor, Paul Heyman chatter on the back burner and detailing why Seth Rollins is such an entitled brat. That might be a little bit of paraphrasing summarization, but it's not far off. Punk justified his lack of interest by retelling Rollins trying to leech off him back in the day and dropped a blatant reference to the Shield. This is everything. Before we get to Rollins, I will say he gets a thumbs down for continuing to wear the goofy outfits from his ridiculous goober troll gimmick. He's back to being much more serious and it just does not fit at all. Rollins claimed Punk is spinning and manipulating the truth, as he does oh so well. We took a trip down memory lane with digs to Punk's WWE departure in 2014 and how Punk cut off all his friendships, including Rollins. Once Punk was gone, he tried to tear down WWE, according to Rollins. He had his own very fair reasoning due to some well-documented legal drama and whatnot, but I digress. But then it all ended with poor Sammy getting beat down by Drew McIntyre. The returning Scotsman's earlier vignette saw him reflect on Punk joining Roman Reigns and the original Bloodline at Survivor Series, War Games, and like Rollins, he was upset that anyone would aid Reigns. McIntyre described how they all sold out for nothing, similar to Rollins' prior qualms, and again, the man's not wrong. McIntyre has been a big victim of practically Reigns' whole career at the top. He seems over Punk, for now, and set to take out the others. That's where the Jey Uso attack question was answered. It previously felt rushed going to a Drew vs. Sammy match at Saturday night's main event, but having Drew serve as an OG Bloodline hitman makes it work much better and is kind of cool. Great way to boost him back up even when he inevitably falls short to Reigns, again. Realistically, I will say Drew would have been fired a long time ago if he had a competent boss. Kai is in the middle of the Intercontinental Tournament, which she rightfully advanced in last week after her hype vignette. So we start building her up, right? She presumably will be in the finals, or at least should be because of how this all started. Then in the middle of that, she gets a random match with the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. This was beyond a lose-lose. I don't get it. Why? It's another example of WWE's continued mess of occasional directionless angles given to female wrestlers. Obviously, this isn't as bad as before the Women's Revolution, but man, the whole point felt like a way to get Io Sky out to attack Morgan, who in the end was planted with an oblivion. That came from Pure Fusion Collective beating up Kai, who just lost, and that got out Damage Control, yada, yada.